Good evening, everyone. Who's with us? Dr. Les. How are you, Dr. Les? Good
Shalom.
evening.
Chodesh Tov, Rav.
Chodesh Tov u'mvorach. Who's else with us? Oh, Stephen with us. Stephen, Erev Tov. Who else with us? Hilton, Erev Tov. Thank you for joining us. I see Frank going to join us any minute. Thank you, Frank, for joining us. Who else joining us? There's few more people I see starting to join us. Yeah, let me see who else. Okay, Dr. Les, how are you?
Baruch Hashem, Rav. I just want to mention last Sunday night, I went straight after we did our, the introduction. I went to the Arush family in Gilo for a Shiva call, and I didn't know, but maybe it's a tradition, Sephardi tradition, that it was mainly the family on the first night of the Shiva. So I was one of the only non-family members sitting there with the family, and I know the Dayan from our shul. And then I mentioned about that I'd spoken to you and that the community share the pain and they give their sincere condolences to the family. And they were so overcome with emotion. They really were, knowing that they have support from Yidden around the world. And the one sister, she said her son had just gone on his tiyul to Australia. He just had left a few days before, Shavuot, a year before Simchas Torah, during Chol Hamoed, when he heard what had happened and he was called up. The next day, straight after Simchas Torah, he got on a flight and he came back. And there have been many that have been Israelis that have been abroad in the States, where as soon as they heard that, what's happening here, they canceled all their plans and they came back. Today, I have a patient, Sylvia Shine. She's 97, Canaan Horror, and she's got a grandson he's just near the end of his studying to be a vet in Israel. To get into veterinary science in Israel is so difficult. He's got just a few more exams, but he gave it up and he's joined his unit, and he's there in the south in fighting for Am Yisrael in Gaza. So Rav, I just want to mention it's unbelievable. People that went to Australia, and there are many South Africans that went to Australia, thought that Australia is like a Gan Eden, but this Gan Eden slowly is becoming a Gehenna. Yidden in Kornfeld, they feel very threatened. There's a Green Party in Australia that are advocating for the 23rd of November to have a general strike in all the schools in Melbourne so that they can have a pro-Palestinian march. And this is coming from a government, from the Green Party and the government. So I have it as my last patient that I saw today. She made Aliyah from Sydney, and she said friends of hers, their children were walking back because they wear kippot. They were attacked in Sydney. Her son is he was at Machon Meir, and he's now and then Machon Lev, and her son is now. She showed me pictures. He's in Gaza fighting for Am Yisrael, and she said to me she feels so blessed that they're here in Israel, and she feels so proud of her son. It's amazing, they didn't have to come here, but they're here and they're so proud to be here. And I just want to end off with something very, very positive. Last night, the Israeli national soccer team, in these very difficult times, they had a game against Switzerland, and because it can't be played in Israel, so it was played in Budapest. And they brought 100 children from Israel in the southern area near the Gaza border that have lived through such a difficult time with air sirens and what they've gone through. So they just wanted to lift up their spirits, and they came with the team. And Aaron Zahavi was on their team, and we were losing 1-0 to the very last minutes of the game. We equalized, so it was 1-1. So it just built up the spirits, because we need to, here in Israel, when we know that we have the support of our brethren throughout the world, it means so much to everybody living in Israel. And we know that the South African Jewish community is unique, and we so appreciate the support that you all give us.
I want you I want to take the opportunity. You know, I have a Torah site. It's called Nahar Torah. You obviously know about it because you are there. And I want to tell you one thing, Dr. Les. You should tell people, try to encourage more people to go to Nahar Torah and see what we done in Nahar Torah. No, I don't know when last you gone to it. See what we done about the hostages. See what we're doing about the flag, about the balloon. See what we're doing all over. What we try to, how you call it, to publicize what they done, okay? Those terrorists, unhuman. They're really unhuman. They're really unhuman. And what we try to do to publicize the kidnapping, I didn't want to put. I told my wife not to put any pictures. That's really radical. You know what I'm saying? It's a harsh scene. But look at the site. Try to promote it. It's Nahar Torah, okay, .com. Look at it. You are on Nahar Torah.
I know, Rabbi, I know. I'm going to send you updates as well.
Try people that you want them to go and look. Besides the nice shiurim that we're giving, and now we put more shiurim, new shiurim every day. Shiur and Taharat HaMishpacha. In Ilchot Taharat HaMishpacha, we every day bringing you. But tell people to go and look at it. What we're trying to do, Be'ezrat Hashem, that will help to bring the hostages back healthy, Be'ezrat Hashem.
Thank you, Rav. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Les. I would like to dedicate the shiur in the soul of Esther Kaden Bat Ketzia, Mordechai ben Rahma, Rav Avraham Chaim ben Eliezer Yaakov, Tamar Bat Zeava, Yaakov Salomon ben Farha, Dvora Ruth Bat Beila, Malka Regina Bat Joya, Keti Gurgia Bat Farha. I would like to dedicate the shiur in health and the releasing of all the hostages that wherever they are, because we're not sure where they are, although the army said that they know exactly where they are, but please God that the shiur going to be in their merit to release them in health of all those that got injured, all of those sick people all over the world, especially in the health of Menashe Naji ben Farha, Leora ben Miriam, Arav Moshe ben Bahia Batia, Arav Moshe ben Devorah, Arav Shlomo Yehuda ben Dalia, Arav Avraham ben Marima, Dvora Ruth, Dvora bat Esther, Sora, Sheina Keila bat Hana, Mordechai David ben Leah, Haim Nahum ben Pesa Reza Kohen, Ahuva Kaden bat Tali Esther, Baruch ben Sarah Hiena, Tzvi ben Hava, Nitzan ben Vered, Yehuda Hillel ben Shulamit Leah, Shmuel Meir ben Shosha Blima, Moshe Avram ben Henariva, Haya Tzipora bat Rachel, Ayala Eden bat Rivka, Tova Liba bat Rachel, Sarah bat Pnina, Yeshua Haim ben Haya Leah, ולאה בת רחל, וכל שאר חולי ופצועי עמו ישראל בכל מקום שהם. We in Parashat Toldot. Parashat Toldot start like this. ואלה תולדות יצחק בן אברהם. אברהם הוליד את יצחק. בכבוד, Jeffrey.
Good evening. And these are the offspring of Isaac, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac.
Okay. The Torah let's start with the first word, ve'ele. And those are the offspring. And those. Why is the Torah tell us? Yeah. And these, the offspring. Thank you, Jeff. We have to understand, why does it say, and these, the offspring? It should say the offspring of Yitzhak, the son of Abraham. Question number one. Okay? And then it tells us, Abraham, twice the word Abraham. What's so special about it? Bezrat Hashem, that's what we try to explain in this verse to explain it. So, what's happening here? Rashi HaKadosh say, Ve'ele toldot Yitzhak ben Abraham, and this, the offspring of Yitzhak. Listen what Rashi say. Rashi HaKadosh say, Yaakov ve'esav ha'amurim b'parasha. It's mean that the offspring of Yitzhak, it's Yaakov and Esav that mentioned in the Parsha. What is Rashi trying to tell us? What is the Hidushim? We have to understand. Rashi was Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki. He born in the city of Troyes in the north of France, 983 years ago. And Rashi, we explained Rashi speak with codes. Although that many people think that Rashi is a simple thing to understand, it sounds simple, but it doesn't. Rashi speak with codes. A matter of fact, just for general knowledge, Rashi had 3 different commentary on the Torah. It have one, the normal Rashi, then it have the Rashi Hayashan, the ancient Rashi, the Rashi Apardes. Okay, 3 different way that he explained what's written in the written Torah. Rashi wrote a commentary on the written Torah and the oral Torah. Okay, so what is the Hidush here that it say ve'ele, and those? Why is he added up the Vava Hibur? That means Vava Hibur. I saw a beautiful commentary that brought by the Siftei Hachamim. Siftei Hachamim, it's Rabbi Shabtai Bas. Rabbi Shabtai Bas, born in the city of Kalisz in Poland. He born around 382 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me into it. 382, 383. Okay? And he wrote commentary on Rashi HaKadosh. And there he explained like this. He said, you know why did it say ve'ele, and those? It's come to tell you that Avraham Avinu given a birth to Yitzhak and Ishmael. One boy tzaddik, one boy a rasha. Yitzhak Avinu given a birth to Yaakov and Esav. Yaakov was a tzaddik, Esav was a wicked. It's come to tell you that the same like Abraham, Avinu have 2 boys. Also, who have 2 boys? Yitzhak Avinu. Okay? And now we can understand why it said ve'ele, and this, the offspring. What it means, and this is the offspring. The same like Abraham Avinu have 2 kids. Also, Yitzhak Avinu have 2 kids, actually 2 boys, okay? That they was, one is tzaddik, that's Yaakov Avinu, and one is Esav Rasha. And that's why it says ve'ele. Until here, it's the commentary and the explanation of Rashi HaKadosh. But then it says, and this is the offspring of Yitzhak, the son of Abraham. And immediately after that, it says, Abraham given a birth to who? To Yitzhak. What is the Hidush? What is the Hidush here? So if you look at the word Holid, given birth, you say Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, he born in Germany. He born around 754 years ago, 755 years ago. I'm very careful now because it's according to the Jewish calendar, we move to the new year. Okay? According to the Gentile, it's not. So usually where we're looking at when I'm giving the year that they born, you have to be very careful because I'm going according to the Jewish calendar. And there is a bit of a friction between the Gentile calendar because they actually, the year ending up in December. So that's where I say around, okay? Just for explanation. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, born in Germany, as I mentioned, around 754, 755 years ago in Germany. And he explained that the word Avraham Holid, Avraham given birth, the word Holid is Gematria. Listen to that. Gematria, Dome. Dome, look like. That's it. What is Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim try to explain to us? So I saw a commentary that brought by Rabbi Baruch Halevi Epstein. Rabbi Baruch Halevi Epstein born around 163, 164 years ago. And in his book, Torah Tumima, I'm sure that many of you heard about it, he explained like this. And he said that Hazal, in a Gemara in Masechet Baba Metzia, in page 87, folio 1, Hazal said that Avraham Avinu was in the age of 100 when Yitzhak Avinu born, while Sarah Imenu was in the age of 90. And the people that love to gossip, they always find a reason to gossip. And they start to chips and start to gossip and saying, listen, how can it be that Avraham Avinu in the age of 100 and Sarah Imenu in the age of 90, they will both will have a kid? It's unheard of. It's unheard of. It can't be. So they start gossiping and they start mentioning different stories. Avraham said, Rabbi Baruch Levy Epstein, something extraordinary. What's happened? Akadosh Baruch Hu made the miracle. Actually, Rabbi Baruch Levy Epstein bring what the Zohar Akadosh. I just saw it now, just before the show. I'm just going to look at the source in the Zohar Akadosh in page 175, folio 1 on our Parashat. The Zohar on Parashat Toldot, 135, folio 1. That's where I read it. That Akadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle that Avraham Avinu and Yitzhak Avinu look exactly identical. So people can't say that Yitzhak Avinu is not the son of Avraham Avinu, because people wanted to gossip and to say, to say that Yitzhak Avinu wasn't the son of Avraham Avinu. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle and make them look identical. And that's what it says here again. Avraham olit et Yitzhak. Avraham given a birth to who? To Yitzhak Avinu. Rashi HaKadosh explained that slightly differently. And he said that in every generation is people that love to mock others, to laugh about others, not necessarily just to gossip, but they love also to mock everyone else. And he said like this, it was certain people that say that the matter of fact, Abraham never given a birth to Yitzhak. And Sarah Imenu couldn't. You know where Abraham and Sarah had that child? In that time, in their time, it was very common that people can go and pay money and to buy a baby if they couldn't have. Now that today is not common. If you go to the Eastern Europe, you can also get them. People pay money and they can buy babies. But in a Western society, it's not so common, okay? But in their time, they used to go to the market. People used to sell their babies. They used to get paid, take the baby. They never heard about it anymore. Come those mockers that always you find those jokers all over and say that Avraham Avinu and Yitzhak Avinu bought, Avraham Avinu and Sarah Imenu bought Yitzhak Avinu in the market. That means that basically it's not their son. Say Rashi HaKadosh and the Mefarshim, you know why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu change and make their face identical? That Yitzhak Avinu will look exactly like his father Abraham. That not only those that gossip, also those that love to mock, to be jokers, to make stories, gonna find out that Avraham Avinu and Yitzhak Avinu look identical. That means that Avraham Avinu was the father of Yitzhak Avinu. And that's what say Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, that the gematria, okay, of the word holid and the gematria of domeh, it's the same amount. To tell you that Avraham Avinu happened a miracle that his son look exactly like him. Exactly, they look identical. It's Yitzhak Avinu to his father Abraham. So now we can understand why is it said. There's a different interpretation why it say twice the word Avraham We'll explain it, please God, on Shabbat and Shi'ur in a different aspect, how's it fit together. Let's move on. I'm going to jump now to verse 20. And look what it says here. The Torah tells us something very interesting. ויהי יצחק בן 40 שנה, בקחתו את רבקה בת בתואל הארמי מפדן ארם, אחות לבן הארמי לא לאישה.
Okay. Isaac, Yitzchak, was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean, from Padam Aram, sister of Lavan, the Aramean, as a wife for himself.
Okay. The question that we're going to ask here, and many of the Mefarshim ask, and that's the question that I'm going to bring the commentary of Rabbi Rafael Bardugo. Rabbi Rafael Bardugo, born in the city of Maknes in Morocco. He born around 276, 277 years ago. And they used to give him the nickname, the angel Raphael. He made a miracle. He used to be a very righteous tzaddik. He was a special tzaddik that had a lot of strength with Kabbalah. And he killed few people, so they used to call him Malach Raphael, Mishon Refuah. And he asked a question here, I don't understand. Why does the Torah have to tell me how old was Avraham Avinu when he took its Rivka Imenu? And not only that, the Torah continue and tell us that who was a father and who was a brother. באמת, מה זה משנה לנו? What difference it make to us? How old was Yitzhak Avinu? And who was the father and the brother of Rivka Imenu? That's the question of Rabbi Rafael Bardugo. By the way, we all know the name of the father of Rivka. Her brother, we know. The father was Bethuel. The brother called Lavan. The Torah doesn't mention her mother. Her mother called Dvorah. Dvorah. Rivka's mother called Dvorah. Dvorah, remember that. What's happening here? The Torah tells us that Avraham Avinu, in the age of 40, married Rivka. According, there's different opinion in a midrash and the commentary. How old was Rivka? One said that she was 3. Others say no, she was 12. Others say no, she was 20 years old. Vice versa, the Torah doesn't mention how old Rivka. They mention the age of Abraham, and they mention the family of Rivka. Yitzhak doesn't say nothing about him. Where he's from, nachon that the Torah earlier tells us, but nothing about Yitzhak. Come Rabbi Rafael Bardugo and say, what difference does it make to us? How old was Abraham? And who was the parents of Rivka Imenu? Say Rabbi Rafael Bardugo a beautiful hidush. He said a beautiful hidush. He said you have to understand why the Torah tells us the age of 40. Chazal in the Gemara, in Mishnah, Masechet Avot, in chapter Perek Hey, Mishnah Kaf Aleph. כן. כן, Hey Kaf Aleph. Chazal said Ben 40 labina. A person, when he reached to the age of 40, he become very wise. Okay? Say Rabbi Rafael Bardugo, you know why the Torah tells us that Avraham Avinu was in the age of 40? And why Rivka Imenu came from the house, she was the daughter of Bethuel and a brother of Laban? To tell us that Yitzhak Avinu waited until he became wise enough, that he have a wisdom. And only then Avraham Avinu sent Eliezer to bring Rivka. Why? Because Avraham Avinu knew that he came from Padan Aram. Padan Aram, he knew that everyone was idol worshippers. Everyone was a pagan. And we know that the women have a lot of influence on her husband. Say, Avraham, I'm going to wait for my son to get to the age that he'll have wisdom. So the wife that he's going to take, not going to influence him to worship idols. So that's why it's Rabbi Rafael Bardugo, why the Torah tells us that Avraham Avinu was an age of 40. And why the Torah tells us who was Rivka, from each house she came. The word Betuel is a secret to it. And Lavan, Ha'arami, there is a secret to it. What does it mean? The name, why did they give him a nickname of Betuel? So Hazal explained that every woman that used to get married, because Betuel was like the mayor of the town, every woman that used to get married, okay, the night before she get married, she come to spend the night with him. Okay? That's why they call him Betuel. By the way, that's the reason that before Rivka left, the Midrash say that Betuel put a poison on a cup of Eliezer. Come the angel and twist it around, and he drank it and he died. Why did he die? So he's not going to do it to his daughter. Why they call him Lavan Ha'arami? Change the letters of Arami, you're going to get Ramai. Okay? A person that cheat, a person that all the time doing all kind of foolish stick. So come the Torah and tell us, and say Rabbi Rafael Bardugo, the Torah specifically tell us from which house Rivka came. Why is that? One opinion is, like Rabbi Rafael Bardugo tell us, that the influence that the wife is strong on a man. And Avraham Avinu was worried that she's going to influence Yitzhak Avinu, therefore he waited that he's 40, that she's not going to influence to worship idols. Another interpretation to tell us that Rivka Imenu came from the house of idol worshippers, a house of pagan. Okay, and also she became Rivka Imenu, our mother Rivka. Why? Because Rivka Imenu was a special soul. And not for nothing, she died and been buried where? Ma'arat HaMachpelah. Only tzaddikim can be buried in Ma'arat HaMachpelah. That means that it's come to tell you, although that she can come from a house of paganism, a house of idol worshippers, Rivka Imenu Alea Shalom, okay, always kept Emunah, and when she married Yitzhak, it was even more so. And Hazal say when she came to the tent of Sarah Imenu, we'll speak about it Be'ezrat Hashem in Shabbat, the dough, okay, and the candle that used to be in a tent of Sarah Imenu, okay, start lighting again from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. And the challah, the dough, used to rise again by himself. And that's who was Rivka Imenu, how holy she is. So now we understand why does it say that Avraham Avinu was in the age of 40. Why does it tell us the dynasty of Rivka Imenu? I would like to move on to verse 26. I would like to start, time going. Verse 26. And here the Torah tells us something very interesting. It's speaking about the birth of Esav and the birth of Yaakov. But maybe before that, I would like to share with you a different idea. I didn't prepare it. I just also learn about it the other day. Let's go to verse 22. I really would like to share it with you because this is a nice hidush, and we have to understand what's happening here. In verse 22, it says like this: "Vayitrotzitzu habanim bekirba, vatomer, im ken, lama li ze anochi, ותלך לדרוש את אדוני."
the children agitated within her. And she said, if so, why am I thus? Why am I like this? And she went to inquire of Hashem.
Hazal say that Rivka Imenu, first of all, didn't know that she had twins. You know, in the olden days, they didn't have the sonar, they didn't have a scan that the woman, pregnant woman, can tell if she had twin or triplet or whatever the case is. She was thinking that she had one child. And Rivka Imenu, the Midrash tells us, when she used to walk next to Beta Midrash, she felt the construction like the baby contraction, that the baby want to come out. Sorry, I say construction, I say contraction, that the baby wanted to come out. Okay. Then, if she used to go past a house of pagan or other worshippers, then the other baby wanted to come out. She couldn't work it out. So she, Hazal explained that Rivka Imenu have a doubt. What was the doubt? In ken lama ze anochi. What it mean? In ken lama ze anochi? Rivka Imenu have a doubt that maybe the son that she having, because she didn't know that she had twin, that the son that she having, maybe that son is, what do you call it, a schizophrenic. One time he loved Kadosh Baruch Hu, and lehavdil Chas v'shalom, he loved paganism. So what did she gone? She gone to who? She gone to ask Kadosh Baruch Hu. What the answer that she got? You have a twin. No, so what's the Hidush here? Said the Mefarshim, the Hidush here is a great Hidush. It's to tell you that Rivka was worried that she had one child, but maybe that child have two different personalities, schizophrenic. 1 minute is this, 1 minute is this. Come, Akadosh Baruch Hu, and tell her, no, you don't have to worry, Rivka. You have a twin in your stomach. That's mean that one of the boys is a tzaddik, that's Yaakov Avinu, while the wicked one is Esav HaRasha. And that was the Hidush, said the Mefarshim. Rivka Imenu didn't know that she had a twin. She was thinking that she had one child, and that's what it trotzetzu abanim bekirba. That means that every time that she used to pass next Beit Shem Vayever, the yeshiva of Shem Vayever, Shem is the son of Noah, she felt like the baby want to come out. That was Yaakov Avinu. And Yaakov Avinu really, we know when he left the house of Yitzhak and Esav, he gone for 14 years lebet Shem Vayever, the yeshiva of Shem Vayever. So that's what's the Hidush here. Let's go to verse 26 like I wanted before. And then it's about the verse of the two. The Torah now speak about the verse of Yaakov and Esav. And look what it says here. ואחרי כן יצא אחיו וידו אוחזת בעקב עשיו. ויקרא שמו יעקב. ויצחק בן 60 שנה בלדת אותם.
After that, his brother emerged with his hand grasping onto the heel of Esau.
Okay.
So he called.
So continue, sorry.
No
sorry.
problem.
Continue.
Yeah. So he was grasping the heel of Esau. So he called his name Yaakov. Yaakov, that Yitzchak was 60 years old when she bore them.
Sorry, Jeffrey. The Torah tells us that when Yaakov Avinu was ready to come out straight after Esav, he held the heel of Esav. What's the Hidush? Asked the Mefarshim. What did you have to tell me that he hold the hill? So the Mefarshim explained that that's why they call him Yaakov, Milshon v'Yaakveni Pa'amayim. That's what Esav said. That twice he came before me. That's why he hold the hill, Milshon Akev, v'Yaakveni. That he overtake me twice, okay? That's on a pshat of the dvar. But the Mefarshim explain something extraordinary. There is, first of all, I'm going to bring the Gemara, and then I'm going to bring a different interpretation that brought by the Ben Ish Hai, the Rabbi Haim Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Haim. The Gemara in Masechet Brachot, no Masechet Brachot, Masechet Shabbat. Masechet Shabbat, 104, folio 1. Hazal tell us a very interesting story there. Hazal tell us, Lasheker en raglaim. What it mean, Lasheker en raglaim? That means when you tell a lie, in the end of the day, that lie, you're going to find out that there is a lie here, you know? So it's come to tell you that here, Yaakov Avinu, when he came out, he hold the heel of Esav to tell you that Esav took this world, okay? This world that we're living in. And that world is a world of false, okay? Why? Because to us, everything looked like people work hard, people try to accumulate wealth. Why is it? Because they think that they're going to live forever. They don't know they come here for short time, for certain time, and then they've done their job and they have to go to the place up in heaven. Come Yaakov Avinu and tell you, say the Hazal in the Gemara, to him, to us, this world is a physical world, is a world that everything is a lie. Rabotai, we see what's happening in the world at the moment against the Jewish people, against the state of Israel, with all the evidence that the state of Israel trying to prove that those terrorists use the hospital, use kindergarten, use clinic, use school, use university for them to hide, from there to bomb, to shoot missiles, because they don't care about it. But the world doesn't look at it. The world look like Israel killing innocent people. They don't look what they done, how they killed and raped and burned families alive. They're too blind to see. Say the Mefarshim, that's what it's come to tell you. The Yaakov holding the heel of who? Of Esav. This world is a false world. That's what the message is. That's one interpretation. Come the Ben Ish Hai. Who was the Ben Ish Hai? The Ben Ish Hai was Rabbi Yosef Haim. I mentioned him number of times, many times actually. And he said like this. He says, first of all, he born in Iraq 189 years ago, 190 years ago, plus minus. He born in Baghdad, in the city of Baghdad. And he actually bring a different interpretation. And he bring also the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat. And the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat tell us something very important. Hazal tell us that the time of the woman giving a birth is a very dangerous time, like we saw with Rachel, that she passed away. But it's also very dangerous time for the baby. That's Gemara Masechet Shabbat, Lamed Bet Amud Aleph, 32, folio 1. Okay? And Hazal tell us their story, very interesting story. Listen to it. And from that, we can understand why Yaakov Avinu hold the heel of Esav Rasha. Hazal tell us in the Gemara there a story about Shmuel. Shmuel was a sage. And whenever he used to needed to go from one place to another place in a boat or in a ship, he always makes sure that on a ship there's Gentile. If all the people on a boat or on a ship was only Jewish, he never used to sail on that boat. Sounds very strange, huh? Say Hazal, no. He makes sure that he's Gentile on a boat. And he tell you why. Because in a time of danger, the angel of death have a permission to do whatever you want. But the angel of death not allowed, okay, to kill Jewish and non-Jewish together on the same time. Say Ishmael, okay, Rabbi Shmuel, like this. Shmuel say, I'm not going to take chance. To sail in a boat, it's very dangerous. In that time, the ships that they have, or the boat that they didn't have such a sophisticated. He says, I'm always going to go on a ship if there is a Gentile. Say, Rabbi Yosef Haim, the Ben Ish Hai, you know why Yaakov Avinu hold the heel of Esav. That time was a dangerous time. The time that the mother gives birth to her kids can be dangerous for her and dangerous for the baby. He said, Yaakov Avinu said, I don't want to take a chance. I'm going to heal the heel of my brother, because my brother going to be the rest. You're not going to be Jewish. His brother become Esav, Edom, the nation of Edom. So he said, by that I'm holding his heel, I'm protected. The angel of death can't harm me. Although that it's time of danger, yes, but I'm holding the heel. I'm coming out, not by myself. We're coming together out. And that's why he hold the heel, said the Ben Ish Hai. Look at that interpretation. That the time of birth is dangerous. Let's go to verse 28. And here we see something very interesting that I'm sure many of you asked the question, that how come Abraham, Yitzhak Avinu, love Esav? That's many people can't work it out. So Be'ezrat Hashem will try to explain what's happening here. And it's like this. Vayehav Yitzhak et Esav, ki tzayid befiv. ורבקה אוהבת את יעקב.
Okay. Sorry. Isaac loved Esau, for game was in his mouth, but Rivka loved Jacob.
Okay, in the Pshat of the Dvarim, the Torah tells us that Yitzhak Avinu loved Esav because he was have a smooth tongue, very, very smooth operator, very clever man. He knew how to cheat people with his tongue, how to sell them, like we say, selling ice to the Eskimo. Okay, he was a good salesman, Esav. While Yaakov Avinu, that was Ish Tam, a simple person, his mother that brought up in a house of Lavan and the house of Bethuel, she knew that Esav is not so kosher. Let's say it nicely. But Yitzhak Avinu that grown up in the house of Abraham Avinu, you know, what did he saw? He saw Abraham Avinu that was tzaddik, his mother tzaddiket, you know, she couldn't work it out. So he loved Esav. I saw a beautiful commentary. I heard it actually. I never saw it. I read it. No, I also read it. Sorry, I read it. I read it also. And the commentary said like this. Listen to that. The commentary that I read it from the book that by Rav Ben Tion Mutzafi Shalita. And I heard it from him also on a show. And he said like this. Yitzhak Avinu knew that Yaakov Avinu is a tzaddik. Yaakov Avinu used to sit and study from the morning to the night. So he knew that he's a tzaddik. So he said that if all day you sit and study, you're obviously going to be a tzaddik. But he saw that Esav in the morning used to go to the field, Ish Sadeh. And in the evening he used to come and he used to sit with him. And he used to ask him, Dad, how do we do maaser from the melach? Melach doesn't need maaser. He used to ask him, how do we do maaser from the teven? Teven doesn't need maaser. Melach is salt. Teven is the straw. You don't have to give maaser from those. But he used to mislead his father with his question. So his father, Yitzhak, used to say to himself, look, my son all day doing business in the field, coming to interaction with other people, with all of those temptations that he have outside, he's still a tzaddik. He deserves to get the brachot. And that's Rabbi Ben Shion Muchafi, that's how Esav managed to steal the heart of his father, Yitzhak. Why? By that Yitzhak Avinu all the time thought, listen, look at my son, have a lot of temptation. He go outside. He have to deal with the flock that he have. He meet with other people, with all the temptation that there is outside. He's still a tzaddik. Why? Because Esav, with his question, managed to mislead Yitzhak Avinu. That's why Hazal explained, when I say Hazal, is Rabbi Ben Shion Muchafi said, that he managed to mislead his father, and that's why Yitzhak Avinu loved Esav Rasha. While Rivka, that saw the simpleness of Yaakov Avinu, and that's why she loved him. That Yaakov Avinu in himself had the capability, okay, to lie, to do all of that. But he worked on himself to be a simple person, and we'll see it just now. I would like to jump to go to chapter 26, verse 13. 26:13. Here it is. And here with the Torah tells us something very interesting about Yitzhak Avinu. ויגדל האיש, וילך הלוך, וגדל, עד כי גדל מאוד.
Sorry, Rav.
Chapter 26, verse 13. 26, 13.
13.
13,
Right.
1 3. 1
Yes,
3.
1 3. Okay, 26, 13. Right. The man became great and kept becoming greater until he was very great.
Okay. If you look here, it's mentioned 3 times the word great. ויגדל האיש, 1. וילך וגדל, 2. כי גדל מאוד, 3 times. Why דווקא 3 times? Question number 1. Question number 2, why does the Torah tell us that Yitzhak Avinu become greater and greater and greater? What's hiding behind it? We have to understand. So first of all, why 3 times that it's Mela? That's Hazal say that the 3 times that it's mentioned the word Vayigdal, it's towards the 3 brachot that Yitzhak Avinu been blessed on our Akedah. Ki barech avarecha, ki avarech avarechecha, okay? Sorry, ki barech avarecha v'yitbaruchu becha. For words 3 brachot that Yitzhak Avinu received on our Akedah, say Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, he becomes such a greatest man. What does it mean greatest man? Great rich man. Hazal explained that Yitzhak Avinu was so rich that even Abraham Avinu wasn't rich like him. We know that Yaakov Avinu also become rich. Nothing like Yitzhak Avinu. That's the pshat of the dvarim. What the depths behind it. The Mefarshim explain like this. Yitzhak Avinu becomes so rich that he have everything. That Hazal tell us that in the Midrash, Hazal used to say in Bereshit Rabbah, that Hazal used to say, I'd rather have excuse my language, the leftover from the animal, what the animal do, the compass that the animal, from the animal of Yitzhak Avinu, and not the wealth of Avimelech. Avimelech was the king. because with that you can fertilize all your field and you become rich. That's what people used to say about Yitzhak Avinu. And Yitzhak Avinu, as he became more and more richer, Hazal tell us, he became more modest, more humble, and more tzaddik, and more pious. And the Torah tells us something here very important. Usually when people become rich, they intend to forget the people that they grown up with them, because now he's going with a different society. When people have money, they also change the suburb that they live. You know, they go to a different suburb, more expensive, you know, driving different car, you know, different lifestyle, let's call it. Also, when people have money, usually they do a lot of foolish trick, a lot of tricks, or sticks around. Then the Mefarshim, Yitzhak Avinu, although that he became rich, he was still the same who he was. Not only that he was the same, when he became richer, he started working on himself to become more modest, to become more humble, but to become more pious and a tzaddik, until he got to the limit. And that's come to teach us something very important. Vayigdal Ish, that it means that his personality, his character trait, grown up. That means Yitzhak Avinu understand, or you're right to say understood, that money not going to give you a personality. Money can change you. So Yitzhak Avinu worked on his personality every time that he got even richer. And that's the Hidush. What's the time? Whoa. Let's go to verse 27. I would like to go to verse 27. We'll do something from verse 27. And it says here something very interesting. And let's go to verse 27. Oh, it's late. Okay, I'll do one more. I'll do just the Zera Shimshon like every week. Let's go to 27:35. I plan to do another two, but okay. Let's do just Zera Shimshon because the time is over 10 to 9. In verse 27, chapter 27, verse 35. Look what it says. It says something very interesting that Yitzhak Avinu said to Esav HaRasha. And look what he said. Vayomer, בא אחיך במרמה, ויקח ברכתך.
But he said, your brother came with cleverness and took your blessing.
Okay, cleverness, that's the key word. In Hebrew, mirma is cheating. It's very good that the commentary wrote cleverly, okay?
Cleverness, yes.
Sorry?
Cleverness. Yes.
Cleverness, okay. So what's happened here? The Torah tells us the story that, we know the story that when Rivka heard that Yitzhak wanted to bless Esav, she told immediately to her son, Yaakov, to dress up. She given him the clothes of Esav. By the way, that clothes belonged to Adam HaRishon. Bigdei Esav HaMudot, it's called. That's what he took from Nimrod. Nimrod took it from Adam HaRishon. Was special thing about those clothes. So she told her son, listen, I'm going to cook for you the meal and you're going to take it to your father, but you have to wear the clothes of Esav. Say, mother, if you say that, no problem. That's the story. We know. And then he took the food and he got the brachot. When Esav came to his father, Yitzhak said to him, your brother already took it. Cleverly. That means wisely. Say Unkelus Agur. Unkelus Agur he was a Ger Tzedek. He was the student of Rabbi Akiva. He was a convert. He was Ger Tzedek. He was the student of Rabbi Akiva. He was, just for general knowledge, he was the nephew of the wicked Titus that destroyed the second temple. Okay? And he wrote commentary on a written Torah and the oral Torah. That's what it says on Kelos. But you see, there is Rashi and on Kelos. And he said that mirma in Hebrew, it's actually foolishly. It's not. It's wisely. Your brother came wisely. Yitzhak Avinu said to Esav, your brother came wisely and took your blessing. But many people think and intend to think, and by the way, that's Rashi also said that it was wisely, that how can it be that Yaakov done what he done? So the Mefarshim explain, Yaakov Avinu was Ishtam, Yoshev Ohalim, whatever his mother told him to do, he done. Come the Zera Shimshon, that was a great Kabbalistic Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani ben Rav Michael Nachmani. And he asked, is he really was such a simple person, Yaakov Avinu, to do what he done? And he said, yes, and I'll prove it to you, he said. He said, Esav, that already have experienced twice with Yaakov Avinu. Once, that he hold his heel, that he's, according to Esav, he tried to come before it. The second one, that he got the birth, okay, the first birth, okay. Now he come, and I'm worried that he might gonna steal the blessing from me. That means Esav was suspicious of Yaakov Avinu. He gone to his father and he said, listen, I'm sure that my brother might gonna try to do something. If he come to you, he gonna try, because you blind, you can't see, he might gonna change his voice to speak like me, rough, strong. If he's gonna speak like this, you will know that it's not me. He's gonna try to copy my voice. When I'll come, and you're gonna know that it's me, I'm gonna try to speak like my brother. I'm not gonna speak with my normal voice. And that was the agreement. And we know that when Yaakov Avinu came to to receive the brachot, Yitzhak Avinu interpreted and not only interrogate Yaakov Avinu, and he tried to find out, is it really Esav or not? But here was a time that Yitzhak Avinu realized something very interesting. Yitzhak Avinu realized that the guy that's standing in the front of him, it's not a simple guy. Why? Because he said, Kol Yaakov. The voice that I hear is the voice of Yaakov. That's the agreement that I have with Esav. Sorry. The hand, V'hayadayim yadei Esav. The hand is the hand of Esau. What's happening here? Now he become very suspicious. Any other person will say, listen, there's a doubt here. Wait, I'll call my wife to see, are you Esav or you Yaakov? Yitzhak Avinu realized that the guy that's standing on the front of him is a special guy. Why? He said, Kol Yaakov. The voice is exactly like the voice of Masan Yaakov. I know the voice of Masan Yaakov. But I have a problem. The hand is the hand of Esav. Say Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani. There is a secret here. You know what's the secret? I'll tell you what's the secret. He said that Yaakov Avinu, when he came, he didn't change his voice. Why? Because his mother told him, just wear the clothes of your brother Esav. She didn't tell him change the word, the voice. He said by that he didn't change the voice and he spoke the truth, Yitzhak Avinu was willing to give him the brachot. He said, if that's not enough, I'll give you a different base, so to say, a different mushpanka, what we say, that what Yaakov that Yitzhak Avinu knew that he given the blessing to Yaakov Avinu. What did he say to him? Earlier in the pasuk, it said that Yitzhak Avinu said to Yaakov, come close to me, I want to kiss you. When he kissed him, he smelled, it said, Vayareach et reach begadav, vayevarchev. He smelled the clothes of the smell of his clothes, and then he blessed him. Vayomer, reach beni kereach hasadeh. The smell of my son is like the smell of the field. Mother field, said the Mekubalim, he smelled the smell of Gan Eden. Reach hakal tapuhim. Hakal is a field. Tapuhim, it smelled the field of apple. What it means, the field of apple? In Gan Eden, there is a field that's called the field Hakal Tapuhim. It's referring to Gan Eden, that it's a place of, I don't understand what is it. It's called Hakal Tapuhim according to the Zohar. That means a field of apple. He smelled the reach of Gan Eden standing in front of him. Say, Yitzhak Avinu, if I smell that smell on you, you deserve to receive my brachot. Why? Because obviously from Shamayim, from heaven, they send you to receive. Chazal say a very interesting story that happened in a Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin. There's a very interesting story in Masechet Sanhedrin on page 9741. Said the Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani. He said, from here you can learn that when a person tells true and doesn't lie, how much he get, how much he benefit. Chazal in the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin in page Tzadik Zayin Amud Aleph 9741 tell us a story, and with that I'm going to conclude the show. I know I'm 1 minute over. Chazal say that was a city that called Kushta. Kushta, it's not the Kushta of today. That was a city that people live forever. They never die. If they wanted to die, they used to go outside the walls of Kushta, and then they used to die. That means the angel of death couldn't come into that city. People used to live for ages. Okay. One day, the Chazal say, come Rav Tevut. Rav Tevut came to the city with his family. And he lived in the city for a while. And one day, the neighbor came to ask for his wife. And the wife was busy with her own personal thing. And, they didn't have showers and baths like we have. So he said to her, she's not at home. And she left. And shortly after that, 2 of his boys died. Immediately, all the city came. Rav Tevut, what's happened? How can it be? Tell him, I'll tell you the truth, I lie. A woman came to ask about my wife. My wife was busy with her own personal thing. I said that she's not at home. I didn't want to tell him what she's done. And I've been punished. So the member of the city said to him, listen, we can't punish you. Your punishment you got from heaven. But please make us a favor. Call a delivery company and leave the city. You can't stay here anymore. Why? Because you already have a partnership with the angel of death. We don't need it here. Say, Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani, he said, look, Yaakov Avinu told the truth. His mother told him wear the clothes he wear. His mother didn't tell him to lie. Yaakov Avinu didn't lie. I'm sure that even if his mother would tell him to lie, he wouldn't lie. So all of you are going to come and say, wait a minute, how can it be? He said, Ani bincha bechorcha, I'm your older son. Yes, he was the older son because he bought his birthright from Esav when he given him from Adoma Adomazeh. That means that he made lentil that day. And when Esav came from the field, when Avraham Avinu passed away, he said, please give me from that lentil. So you say, well, what is the birthright we? And he given it. Say Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani in his book Azera Shimshon. a person that all the time tell the truth, the angel of death have no permission to come near him. That's the power when people speak right. And that's, here is two proofs saying, Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani, why Yaakov Avinu deserved and how Yitzhak Avinu knew that the person that's standing next to him deserved to get the brachot, and he gave it to him. And what is it say? Bemirma, it means wisely. He received the brachot wisely, with wisdom. And now we can understand what's hiding behind that verse, and how come that Yaakov Avinu deserved to get the brachot, and Yitzhak Avinu knew that the person that's standing next to him is definitely not Esav. Why? Because when Esav walked into the room, what does it say in the pasuk? In verse 33, ויחרד יצחק חרדה גדולה עד מאוד. When Esav walked into the room, Yitzhak was feared. Why? Because Yitzhak sensed with his holiness that here with this man that walking into the room, the angel of death, the angel of death walking with him. Why? Because on that day, Esav couldn't get two goats. Every time that he caught one, come the angel and released the other one. He took his own dog, he caught one goat, and he took his dog and he cooked them, and he gave them to his father. So when Esav walked with the unkosher food, his father realized that that person that's walking in now, he doesn't deserve. And that's what he was very afraid. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see the miracle that, and have the compassion and mercy on all the Jewish people, that we are now in very sensitive time, especially our soldiers, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will guard them and protect them, that not even a scratch going to happen anymore to one soldier, not in the south, not in the north, not in Israel, not anywhere, to any Jews. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that there should, Kadosh Baruch Hu will make a miracle, that they will release the hostages, that all of them healthy, Be'ezrat Hashem, and will take them back and send them back to their families, healthy, Be'ezrat Hashem, and will show us miracle, and Be'ezrat Hashem will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu in the merit of Yitzhak Avinu, that was willing to sacrifice himself in honor of Hashem on the Akedah. Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us speedily in our day, Mashiach Tzidkenu, Amen, Ken Yeh Ratzon. Those of you, I know that I stole 7 minutes over time, but those of you that have questions, I would like to hear your question. Bechavod.
Rabbi, it's Frank.
Frank, how are you?
Baruch Hashem. Rabbi, you were saying, did you say, why did Hashem say Abraham twice?
At the beginning of the show.
Yes,
I brought
yes.
different.
But was it not a form of endearment when he says Abraham, like, do you know what I'm saying? It was.
Obviously,
yes.
That's the shot of the dvarim. But why
Yes.
is Abraham? We explained that was here that Abraham holid et Yitzhak. The word holid, given birth to Yitzhak, the word given birth, holid, in Gematria, stem Gematria, okay, ledome. Dome is look like. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to show that Yitzhak is the son of Abraham, because it was those that used to gossip, those that used to make mockery of everything. One people say that, no, it's not their son. They bought it in the market. Other people say, they're telling us that that's their son. But they didn't really bought it. You understand? And that's why it said twice, that he make the same face that Yitzhak look exactly like Abraham, like his father. So everyone can now know that his father is definitely Abraham. Because usually, the son look after the parents.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Yes, any other question? Bechavod, guys? You can unmute the microphone and ask question. Bechavod, don't be shy. Rabota.
Rob, just going on what was just discussed a bit. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Okay.
When the scorners and the scoffers and the gossipers and the people were talking and they can't be, he's so old. And that was a false idea altogether. Because if Sarah was abducted, she was so old, she couldn't have children anyway. So there had to be something more. It could never, ever have been anybody. She could never have had a child because she didn't even have a womb. She had nothing at the time. It was a miracle. So therefore, if it was a miracle, Abraham was just as big a miracle for Sarah. So it could never have been a normal relationship.
Child. No, but it couldn't be a normal child also. Think about it.
So when they looked at so even if it didn't look like him, it just wasn't possible anyway.
Those mockers and those gossipers come and say, listen, number one, they bought him in the market. Number two, Avraham Avinu, being with Sarah for so many years, they never had. But after Avimelech took her, born Yitzhak. So maybe Avimelech is the father, because he took her to his house. Come Kadosh Baruch Hu and said the Zohar Kadosh, Avimelech didn't touch her, because Kadosh Baruch Hu closed all the opening. They couldn't go to the toilet. They couldn't open the mouth. They hardly can breathe. They couldn't hear. They couldn't see. And the pain that they have, a woman that wanted to give birth couldn't. A person that wanted to go, excuse my language, to the toilet couldn't. There was bursting. Not for small, not for big. HaKadosh Baruch Hu shut it all off. Just shut it. Shut the door. What happened? Immediately after that, Avimelech says something wrong here. Tell me who you are. There came the angel and tell him she's a married woman. Oh, what did I done? Send her back. Who's her husband? Avraham Avinu. As he done that, everything been released. That was the punishment. But those mockers, when people don't want to believe the truth, they tell you a story. There's a guy, they say, he have a Rolls Royce. Everyone say, Chaim Yankel have a Rolls Royce. Chaim Yankel have a Rolls Royce. Chaim Yankel have a Rolls Royce. But I don't even have a license. How can I have a Rolls Royce? Do you understand what I'm saying? People will say that you're driving a Rolls Royce. But in fact, you don't even have a license. So when people want to make lie, you see it. Look what the Al Jazeera do. Look what BBC do. Look, the CNN. They're telling all the truth. They're just twisting everything.
Yeah.
And they know the truth. Israel taking and showing everyone and taking strange reporters from all different news. Don't you remember the CNN said that Israel bombed the hospital? They found out later on it was the jihadi Islam that shot, and it didn't even hit the hospital.
Yes.
You get those lies. You know what I'm saying? You get those gossipers. You get those mockers. You get them all. And that was in the time of Abraham. And here you can see what happened in the Parsha happened in the same time in the world. Just in a different way, in different pictures. Today they're putting Hamas, a terrorist organization, worse than the Nazis, using hospital, using school, using university, kindergarten, using the mosque, the unmasked, using houses. Everything is shown now, black and white footage, and everyone still say we murdering. When the States and America throw the atomic bomb on Hiroshima, You know where she threw the first one? On a hospital. That's the double standard the American have. Mikron, that speaks so nicely to Israel behind our back, say enough to kill innocent people. Innocent people in every second house. Just today they found out in a bedroom, they show you a baby girl. Under her bed, how many rockets was? And if you say maybe the Israeli put the rocket, it was the rocket of Hamas with a serial number. The Kalashnikov, that's the AK-47. On the computer, on a laptop, the pictures of the prisoners. Unheard of. Where did he use it? From the hospital? The hospital is a headquarters of the Hamas. And still, Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC, all those that don't want to see the truth. Do you understand?
Yeah. Total propaganda.
Absolutely. When people don't want to see the truth,
They don't want to see it.
people will tell you, Jeffrey driving a Rolls Royce. Please God, that not only that you drive a Rolls Royce, you drive even better. But Jeffrey doesn't have a driving. But Jeffrey doesn't have a driving license. How can he drive?
Yeah.
That's the difference. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what they say about Abraham Avinu and Sarah.
Yeah.
You follow?
Yeah.
They said them. I hope that I explained it.
Yeah, very good.
Any other question? Any other question, Rabotai? Don't be shy. Anthony, you don't want to ask a question today. I'm waiting for your question, Mr. Anthony. No question.
No,
Okay.
Just one more question. One more question. And this needs. I want to wrap it around my split pea-sized brain. I want to get it around it. Yitzchak, you mentioned that Abraham waited till he was 40 till he was wise, that he could discern and not be so influenced by the wife's influence, because she comes from a family which is total pagan. But it was Abraham's family. It was his own family. So he's actually agreeing with the exaltation. In fact, he's the one that's enforcing it, that he goes to the family. He's from the same family exactly. The idol worships, the whole lot. And so,
it's confusing.
It must be something that Abraham knew. There must have been something of Abraham where he got his kind or something. It must have been someone. I don't know.
Shukran for the beautiful question. Rashi HaKadosh actually bring the answer to it, and many of them are Mefarshim. And they ask the question, how come that Avraham Avinu insists that Eliezer, his servant, will go to Aram Naharaim, to where he born? You know that everyone there is pagan, everyone there idol worshippers. Why doesn't take a daughter why doesn't take a wife to his son from the girls of Eretz Canaan, where he lived, in Eretz Israel, the land of Canaan? Why you have to go all the way to Aram Naharaim? They're all idol worshippers, they're all pagan. What is the Hidush? Very good. Very beautiful question. That's the question of the Mefarshim. Say the Mefarshim like this. The Mefarshim explain why is the Canaanite and the Amorite lost the land of Israel? Because their sin was morally. People there morally was corrupt. They have immorality beyond understanding. People used to say that they want their wife to be a virgin. But before that, they already used to commit immorality. So how do they keep that they're virgin? Rashi HaKadosh explain you'll excuse my language, they used to do it from the back. It's say, Avraham Avinu say, morally, if someone corrupt morally, that you can't fix. But when a person worship idol, that means that something with him is not right. Because Avraham Avinu was idol worshiper at the beginning. He born to the house, but he's realized that there is something wrong with her. He said, the people in Aram Naharaim, nachon that they're pagan, nachon that they're idol worshippers, whatever you want to call it, but they don't understand because they didn't been explained. But morally, they're not corrupt. He said, I'd rather take a woman that she's not corrupt morally for my son than a woman that corrupt morally. Because paganism, I can take out of her. Idol worshippers. And we see it today. A lot of women and a lot of men that wasn't religious. When you open their eyes, they suddenly become religious. But when people corrupt morally, it's very difficult to take him out of it. You follow?
Yeah. So basically, one had the local residents, the local people, they were so morally bankrupt. There was so that there was just no chance of repairing the damage.
That's why they lost the land of Eretz Israel. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to the Jewish people that you should not follow the way of the people that live here before you, because otherwise you're going to lose the land.
Yeah. But we know what happened.
Morally, HaKadosh Baruch Hu soneh zima v'ni'uf, Chazal say. HaKadosh Baruch Hu hate immorality.
That was Baal Peor, wasn't it?
No, Baal Peor was a different Avodah Zarah. Baal Peor was a different Avodah Zarah completely. They used to worship that statue when they used to sit on it and they used to release themselves.
Yeah.
That's a different Avodah Zarah.
Okay. No. Thank you. Thanks for the explanation.
I hope that I explained, and you the question that you have. Beautiful question. It was a beautiful question. Yes, Rabota, any other question regarding the show? Don't be shy. You can unmute and ask. No question. Okay, I would like to thank each one of you, Stephen, Hilton, Louis, Jeffrey, the Baal Kore, Dr. Les, Shmuli, Ivor, and iPhone number 0827741158. It came. I don't know who's that. Who's that on the iPhone number 082774? Who's that? You can unmute the phone. I don't know. No, it doesn't give me a name. So iPhone, thank you for joining us. Everyone, I would like to thank you all, to wish you a beautiful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining us. I hope that when you read the Parsha, it's going to give you a different way to look at the Parsha. Absolutely. In the meantime, I would like to wish all of you a beautiful Shabbat, a safe Shabbat to us, to the soldier of Israel. Please God, we hear news about the hostages, that they released them, and more important, Amen. That we hear the news that the Mashiach Tzidkenu is here, that he's going to reveal. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a beautiful week. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.